The time has now moved on to 12 hours 5 in Guyana. Welcome to your main newscast for today. I'm Kevin Smith.
And I'm Amrita Kosha.
In your headlines, despite Exxon's warning of danger in Kanji Block, EPA tells them to go ahead. Minister Barrett orders CGX to honor 2022 work commitments on Demerara and Berbice blocks. Oil spill at sea. Who will pay for Peru's worst environmental disaster? And President Ali says, we're not selling the Enmore packaging plant. We're just moving into Berbice. And Russian embassy in Guyana says it will not support Venezuela in border controversy. Get the full details of these and more after the break.
Nothing in life is free, but the MyDigiCell app is. You don't need to be on a data plan to use the app. You can conveniently chat with Ruby or an agent for help. Check your account balance, activate a Prime bundle, or gift it to a friend. Send credit. Check the Georgetown and Berbice bridge schedules. Activate a roaming plan. Play Shake to Win for cool prizes. So don't worry about a data plan, buddy. Download the MyDigiCell app from the Google Play Store or the Apple App Store today. Digicel, better together.
And now for the news in detail. Hundreds of tons of waste will be generated in a monthly basis as Exxon, through its subsidiary ESSO, embarks on its 12-well drilling campaign in the Kanji Block. But the EPA has exempted the operator from conducting an environmental impact assessment for the 3-year drilling program, despite being warned that it could yield adverse effects. The EPA explained that the application by Exxon has been screened by the agency to assess the potential environmental impacts. To this end, the EPA has concluded the project will not significantly affect the environment or human health. However, the operator will be required to prepare and submit an environmental management plan for the project. In its project summary for the 12-well campaign, Exxon pointed out that while similar impacts from its other campaigns could be expected from this project, these could be adverse. ESSO is hoping to commence its drilling campaign in the fourth quarter of this year and wrap up its first quarter of 2025.
And we now tell you that given its positive findings of hydrocarbons at the Kaieteur well in the Quarantine block, CGX Energy Inc. told the market last month that it would seek to explore more of the opportunities in that offshore concession instead of going through with commitments this year on its other 2 blocks, Demerara and Berbice. In fact, CGX in its latest financial report said it would not engage in drilling activities on the Demerara block in 2022. However, on February 21st, 2022, the Minister of Natural Resources, Vikram Barrett, informed CGX, which is a partner on the block with Frontiera Energy Corporation, that 2 commitment exploration wells must be drilled on the Demerara block per the terms of the Demerara Petroleum Prospecting License and Associated Petroleum Agreement prior to February 12, 2023. CGX said it will nonetheless seek further dialogue with the Ministry of Natural Resources regarding this order.
And in other news, officials from the Linden Mayor and Town Council are calling for an urgent investigation into the alleged pilfering of funds from the Kaieteur toll booth. The call was renewed at the recent statutory meeting following the release of statistics from the Guyana Forestry Commission. The GFC's Linden office is just a stone's throw away from the toll booth. The figures, which show the total revenues collected at the Kaieteur toll booth within a given period, are significantly less than what was collected from the GFC for logging trucks only. The financial records for 2018 show that $52 million was collected. However, in 2017, the toll booth raked in a whopping $92 million.
And in international news, we now tell you more than a month after Peru's worst ever environmental disaster on its coastline, there are few signs of reckoning for Repsol, the Spanish energy company that manages the refinery where more than 10,000 barrels of crude oil spewed into the Pacific Ocean after a routine tanker discharge went awry. It has wreaked destruction on one of the world's richest marine ecosystems, killing fish and invertebrates, leaving more than 1,000 seabirds coated with oil, several hundred dead, and a toll on marine mammals. Under Peru's strict liability law, Repsol is ultimately responsible for the spill, said Manuel Pulgar Vidal, the country's former environment minister and now global leader of climate and energy at WWF. But Peru has a poor record of holding big business to account for pollution, he says. Peru accuses Repsol of reacting late, launching its contingency plan for the spill the day after it occurred. This was denied by the company. Vidal said, quote unquote, "We have the laws. We have good oversight agencies. The problem is enforcement."
And moving on. President Ali believes that if he was running a private corporation such as Kaieteur, he would have been given incentives and bonuses by its board of directors for scrapping a project like the $12.5 million Enmo packaging plant located on the east coast of Demerara and spending more money to build a new one at Albion, Berbice, Region 6. At least this is what the president told reporters at a press conference he held on Sunday. His government, on February 16th, had included the packaging plant in a 55-acre land deal it made with a 52% owned Guyanese joint venture, Gaison's K&B Industries, Inc. According to reports, the company acquired the $12.5 million plant owned by Kaieteur on a long-term lease from the government and intends to transform the facility from its original use, to package sugar, into a manufacturing hub to support the oil and gas sector. With the time now moving on to 12 hours 12 in Guyana, we will return after the break.
This is GHK Lal inviting you to join me weekdays from Monday to Friday on the National Outlook for commentary on a range of issues. Immediately after the 12 noon and 7 p.m. newscasts on Kaieteur Radio at 99.1 FM and 99.5 FM. Looking forward to you sharing in the conversation.
And we now return with more news in detail. On Friday, protesters flocked the Russian embassy, calling for a ceasefire when Russian officials, that is, including a first secretary, met with protesters Yog Mahadio, attorney at law Christopher Ram, and a Kaieteur news publisher Glenn Lal. Following the half-hour discussion between the two parties, Christopher Ram explained that one of the questions that were put to the officials is whether Russia would support Venezuela if the country decided to move against Guyana. Ram said that the gentleman assured that Russia would not. Friday's protest against Russia's invasion of Ukraine was organized to not only lend support to the innocent civilians being attacked, but to also send a strong signal that there are Guyanese who will not remain silent on such matters.
And moving on. Kaieteur has confirmed that the Eidflat sugar factory is presently out of operation due to a mechanical failure of its number one mill gearbox. In a statement on Monday, the Sugar Corporation said the factory went down on Saturday. It added that immediately after the mechanical problem was detected, the technical team kicked into action and had required repairs to commence at a fabrication workshop. The corporation added that its experts are testing the cane every day to determine the purity level, which will help to make production decisions. Kaieteur last year produced 30,865 metric tons less sugar when compared with 2020. Despite the significant shortfall, the corporation had said it met all the needs of the local market for 2021. It was explained that the shortfall was a result of the loss of some 35% of the standing cane during the second crop of 2021 due to the flood.
Moving on, the non-delivery of items and stale-dated checks were among the issues on the agenda of the Parliamentary Public Accounts Committee as members examined the records related to the procurement of goods under the Ministry of Home Affairs in relation to the audit report for 2017. The issues raised in the meeting saw the PAC in the end requesting the contract document between the Ministry and Caribbean Medical Supplies for the purchase and delivery of goods for the Guyana Forensic Lab. The issue occurred under the leadership of the APNU-AFC government.
And now for your COVID-19 update. The number of cases in Guyana has reached 63,062, with 7 new active cases reported. Meanwhile, in the ICU, there are 5 persons, and in home isolation, 206. The country has thus far recorded 1,223 deaths. There has been a marked decline in COVID-19 cases for the year thus far in Region 6, authorities have said. Regional Health Officer Dr. Vishal Sharma revealed that there has been a 60% reduction in new COVID-19 cases from the month of January to date. Dr. Sharma noted that her team at the Health Authority has been working non-stop to keep COVID under control, despite its massive surge over the Christmas holiday last year. The RHO has reasoned that because persons continue to come forward to be vaccinated, it has helped in flattening the curve. She disclosed that presently there are only 14 active cases in the region. And now for the page 7 of today's Kaieteur News. Physician, heal thyself. Having listened to President Irfaan Ali's bold declaration on Sunday that his government will be setting aside 25,000 acres of land for foreigners to come here and farm, we were forced to reflect on the biblical proverb, physician, heal thyself. Physician, heal thyself communicates a demand that he who tries to fix or find solutions for others should first do it at home. To many, President Ali's pledge sounds good, given that Guyana is playing its part as a good regional partner in pushing agriculture. The irony, however, is glaring, for we have, right here in Guyana, citizens living in squalor, some without proper shelters, others cannot get a piece of land to build a house. Some have had to beg and join long lines to secure a plot of land, and still some were forced to abandon lucrative business ventures due to bureaucratic red tape. Yet, our leader has announced to the world that they can come and get lands to do business. And Irfaan Ali is an honorable man. And with that, we've come to the end of today's News at Noon. I'm Kevin Smith.
And I'm Amrita Koshal.
Thank you for listening.
Want value for your advertising dollar? Then place your ads on Kaieteur Radio's newscasts. Streamed live on 6 different mediums, reaching hundreds of thousands. Advertise today and watch your dollar grow. Call us on 225-8465 or 226-8210 today.